Engines roared across the track, the smell of burnt rubber thick in the air, and the crowd erupted with cheers for the sleek, million-dollar machines lined up at the starting line. In the middle of the lineup, though, sat a rusted, patched-together car that looked more like scrap metal than a racing machine. People in the stands laughed. Even the other racers smirked. And her boss, the man who told her she'd never be more than a mechanic in greasy overalls, leaned against the fence and mocked loudly for everyone to hear. "You'll be lucky if that junk heap even makes it past the first lap," he shouted, his voice dripping with arrogance. But when the race ended, and she crossed the finish line in third place against impossible odds, the crowd didn't laugh anymore. And when she took off her helmet, revealing the secret that tied her to the racing world, silence fell. No one saw it coming. Not even her boss. Her name was Mia Carter. To most, she was just the quiet girl working 12-hour shifts at Steel Motors, fixing up cars she'd never get to drive. She didn't come from money. She didn't wear designer racing suits or have sponsors plastered across her chest. She had grease under her nails, second-hand clothes, and a stubborn fire in her heart. Her boss, Greg Steele, loved to remind her of her place. "Stick to fixing engines, Mia," he'd sneer. "Leave racing to the real drivers." But what Greg and everyone else didn't know was that Mia wasn't just a mechanic. She was the daughter of Cole Carter, the legendary racer who mysteriously disappeared after a crash that shocked the racing world years ago. No one ever discovered what happened to him. Some said he walked away from fame. Others said he was hiding a scandal. For Mia, it didn't matter. She had grown up watching her father live for speed, for the thrill of the race. He was gone now, but his blood ran in her veins. And so did his love for racing. Every night after her shifts at Steel Motors, Mia would sneak into the junkyard and work on her project, an old, beaten-down car salvaged from scraps, the kind no sane racer would even look twice at. Piece by piece, bolt by bolt, she rebuilt it with her own hands. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't flashy, but it was hers. When the regional qualifiers for the Horizon Cup were announced, Mia signed up. Not as a Carter, not as a professional, just as Mia, the unknown mechanic with a junkyard car and something to prove. Greg laughed when he saw her name on the roster. You'll embarrass yourself before you even hit second gear." She didn't reply. She just kept working, her eyes burning with quiet determination. Race day came. The sun beat down on the asphalt as crowds gathered, expecting fireworks from the expensive cars lined up, sleek machines with roaring engines and sponsors cheering them on. And there, at the end of the line, was Mia's patched-up junker. The crowd laughed. Spectators pointed. "Is this some kind of joke?" they said. Even the announcer hesitated, his voice dripping with sarcasm, and in the last lane, "Well, folks, let's just call it the wild card entry." Mia climbed into her seat, her heart racing. She could hear Greg shouting behind her, "Don't stall it, sweetheart." The other racers smirked, shaking their heads. But when the flag dropped, the world changed. Her car roared to life, louder than anyone expected, and she shot forward. She didn't try to beat them all in the first lap. She drove with precision, just like her father taught her years ago. Racing isn't about speed alone. It's about heart, strategy, and knowing when to strike. One by one, she kept pace. The million-dollar cars fought each other for first place, pushing too hard, burning their engines. Mia's junkyard car moved steadily, lap after lap, her hands steady on the wheel, her focus razor sharp. By the final lap, she wasn't last anymore. She was fifth, then fourth, and when one of the top racers spun out trying to cut her off, she swerved around and took third. The crowd went wild. No one could believe it. The girl in the junkyard car had beaten half the field. Greg's face turned pale. When the race ended, Mia pulled into the pit, climbed out of her car, and removed her helmet. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Cameras zoomed in. People recognized her face. The daughter of Cole Carter. "She's a Carter," someone whispered. But he vanished years ago. Greg stumbled forward, his arrogance replaced by shock. You never told me who you were." Mia's voice was calm, strong. "I didn't need to. My father taught me that racing isn't about the name on your car or the money in your pocket. It's about heart. And today, I proved that." From that day forward, everything changed. The media exploded with her story. Cole Carter's daughter stuns racing world. Sponsors called. Fans cheered. But Mia didn't let it change her. She wasn't racing for fame or fortune. She was racing for the dream her father left behind, the one she carried in her heart every day. Greg tried to save face, acting like he had always believed in her. But Mia didn't need his approval anymore. She had already silenced every laugh, every insult, every doubt. At the Horizon Cup finals months later, as Mia rolled her car to the starting line, she glanced up at the stands. For a moment, she could almost see her father there, smiling, nodding proudly. And she whispered, "This one's for you, Dad." The flag dropped. Engines roared. And Mia Carter, the girl who built a car from scraps, who was mocked and doubted, raced not just for herself, but for every dreamer who had ever been told they weren't enough. Because sometimes, victory isn't about first place. It's about proving that the fire inside you can burn brighter than the world's doubts.